It was wonderful, and it was not my bucket list item, but it was my mother's bucket list item. So we went with one of her friends and two of her friends actually, to Prince Edward Island. And I wanted to show you, where did I put, oh, here it is. So I wanted to show you what I did. So now you can see that this is the normal size, or I should say I think there's a bigger size than this too, and I want to tell you what size it is. This is, for all of us here wondering, this is a like 9¼ inch, which is 23.5 centimeters by I want to say like 3/4 inch by, or 17.5 about centimeters ish size. They do have a larger size, and I think they have a narrower size too. So I think there's three different sizes. Do not quote me on that. Look at I think you can get this at Michael's, and I think you can get it at Staples or another type of craft store, or office supply store. Now, what I did was I wanted to, of course, get to a size 8 by 11, but folded in half size. And this is what I developed. So now you can see side by side, it is quite smaller. It is a little bit smaller. It is quite smaller. You can tell. It is quite smaller. A little bit, just a little bit. So this ends up being 5.5, almost 2 by 8 and almost 8.5. So in centimeters, that is 14.25-ish by 22 about centimeters, give or take a few. Some pages are longer than others. So yeah, so definitely a little bit shorter and a little bit narrower. I also am using different sized discs as well. So these ones are an inch in diameter. These are an inch. These are 2 inches. Because I know that from the items that I have collected that's on my trip, which are in this bucket, all of my items and all of the things that we did for a week, that I'm going to have a lot of things to do. And if it ends up being within an inch, I can always just exchange the discs, because that's how great this idea is to have, because you can just take them out and put them into a smaller size disc, and no harm, no foul. So how did I do this? So what I did was I knew that some of these pages were really great. And as you can see, I took some of them apart and put them back together again, because all the months are out of order, obviously. So I took some of them, but I didn't use all of the dates. Some of them I reinforced, and some of them I just used regular construction paper. So when I took the regular construction paper, I just punched the holes in it. I figured out the size that I wanted and took a template, punched the hole, and if I needed to reinforce them, I glued the pages together and then punched the hole and put them in. So for instance, this one was a photocopy paper, so printer paper, that I had printed a game, an old style game. It was a free printable from a very wonderful, and I don't know who gave it out. It was probably someone online, another YouTuber or something. But I loved the game. It was kind of fun. So I had printed it out a year or two ago and haven't used it yet, but I wanted to for this. It was cool. So I wanted to use it, and I think we had a game night one night, so I wanted to use it. for this travel memory journal, but it was really flimsy. I didn't want to use a flimsy piece of paper in it, so I glued it onto another piece of cardstock, and then I just punched that hole. This tends to not be able to punch too many pages at once, so test it out first and see what works for the number of pages. It tends to get stuck a little. So just a pro tip here, what I did was I punched the holes for the cardstock first. Then I took the printer paper, reinforced the edge that I wanted to. Oh, I'll take this off to show you. You can actually see there is like a gray. Let's see if you can see that. There's a gray here, but it's orange on the back. I took a piece of scrap cardstock and reinforced the printer paper with the cardstock. Not as thick a cardstock as this, but it was pretty heavy. It wasn't too bad. Enough so that when I put the printer paper into the um, punch, it could still punch. So I glued those two together, punched it, and then together I glued the printer paper together so that when I need to take this in and out, it was still enough of a structure here that it wouldn't fall apart. And if I flipped back and forth a lot, it also wouldn't fall apart. And if anything, what I need to do later is just glue the two pieces together, the pieces here, the little flaps together again. So that I can do. I cannot restructure and repunch those holes again. So that's what I did on a number of them. Here too, you can see some of these are, kind of coming apart, but there's another layer underneath where I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can always put another piece of paper here. I can always re-glue these if I'm super uncomfortable with them, but they're going to stay on there for a while. And once they're in there, they're pretty much going to stay in there. I might move them around once I start putting stuff in to the, that has to be glued down a little. We'll glue that down again. Once I started filling the journal, but once they're in there, they're in there. You can always wait to fill it when you're done, but once they're in there, they're in there. Made a couple mistakes along the way. It was my first one, so live and learn. Live and learn. See, I punched the hole incorrectly. Missed the mark just a little. It's okay. I'm not too worried about it. I'll probably put another page in there instead. It's very thin at the moment. As I put things in, you'll see it'll get bigger and bigger with other stuff. So there's plenty of room to grow, as you can see. Plenty of room. Now, you can see I have a vellum type of plastic cover. This example that I had does not have one of those. However, it does come, if you buy one in the store, it does come, I have one here as an example. This is a brand new one. It has puppies on it. Look how cute this is. This is a brand new one, so you can see it was actually hanging on on a little tab thing in the store. This is a 12-month planner. I don't even know what year this is. I don't know, but it's not even labeled. It's actually, you can do it yourself. So I thought that was cool. So 12-month planner, bring on the fun. That is cool. Look at that, bring on the fun. But it has puppies and kitties on it, so I thought it was cute. Yep. So I wanted to do this. So I got this one. I think it's probably on a discount. Oh yeah, it was on clearance. So pick that one up. They're kind of on the expensive side, so definitely look for end of year clearance sales on that one. So see the blue, nice. So I brought this over for the reason because they have these really thick plastic super, you can't really see it, but it is a super thick, really, really nice plastic covers. They're laminated. So I highly recommend, if you're going to use these as your journals, keeping this as the journal and not cutting it down. I think that doing this and cutting it down to size hinders it a little bit because you lose the structure of the journal. You have to cut this as well. And once you cut it, you won't use it once, of course. You cut it and you only have it for that one journal. You only have one journal as well if you're using it for this. Um, and I can only make it for this one. I can't reuse, and I don't know what else to make. I can't make another journal and just buy discs. So I have yet to figure out what I can make to replicate this kind of structure and punch a hole at the same time. I mean, obviously they make it in industrial punchers, right? They don't give us something that can do that. So I have yet to figure that out. I want to figure it out. So maybe I will try to do that because I want to. It was very difficult. Like, I'll try to take things out. This is a little, this is really wonky. You cannot see this. Let me see if we can figure this out. You cannot see that. Let me try to get it darker. No. No. We're gonna try to find a dark piece of paper for you to see this because it is wonky as all get out. I'm gonna just tell you. Yeah, there we go. So wonky, wonky. Okay, wonky. Like, super wonky. It got stuck inside the uh inside the this. It took a lot of patience. Like, this one got stuck, this one got stuck. It took a lot of patience to, like, slowly, pry it out. It was not fun. I was really worried about it, and I think the one on the back was, it was a little worse. I had to use, like, scissors to, like, snip it out. It was, I don't know. It was a little worried. I was worried about it. I was worried it was going to break this. It didn't like it. I didn't like it. So it might not be the best solution for this dilemma. So if you have ideas on how to do it, if you've ever done anything like this before, altered, if you've ever altered one of these before, I would love an idea. That'd be great. I'm sure Happy Planner would not endorse me doing anything like this, so we won't tell them. But I love the Happy Planner, even though they're not a sponsor. I love it, but I think maybe going forward, I probably won't alter the size anymore. Maybe we'll start 2024 journal using using the normal size. Maybe we'll try that and see how that works for us instead of altering it like this. And maybe this is the last time we alter it. So we'll see. I actually did do one other vacation journal like this. It worked out really well, but eh, um, we'll see. We will see. Oh, shaky, sorry. Um, Yeah, so let me know what you think. We will work in this together for a few pages and see how that goes. We'll do some creation along the way, and I guess give me your thoughts. And I hope you have a wonderful and crafty day. If you have any comments and suggestions, please let me know. And have a wonderful crafty day. Yeah, I guess that's it. Have a good day. Bye.